Valley Club Crucible is gone next week. Overpowered is coming next week. Professor X is right around the corner. And are there too many events in Marvel Strike Force right now? I'm discussing all of these things in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me all the way back from LA is my brother DorkyDad. And if you're ready for all these topics, DorkyDad, let him know what to do.
Let's go smash it.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is DorkyDad, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Do this every single week, keeping you up to date on everything that has happened in Marvel Strike Force and is upcoming. And if you get some value from this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to know as soon as a brand new video goes up, ring the notification bell as well. But let's get into it. DorkyDad, I have not spoken with you since our trip to LA, so I gotta ask the question, how is your finger, my brother?
That's my middle finger you're gonna break. My finger is fine.
Okay,
and I'm gonna prepare better for next time. I'm telling you, you woke up a beast. You woke up a beast. I'm gonna see you next year, Valley. It's gonna happen.
All right, it might be this year, and I think our conclusion was right. You know, we know what we want to do. We want to pull each other's arms to each other, but both of our grips are so weak that our arms are going and our hands are getting left behind. It's like, so I'm gonna make my grip super strong. I'm gonna grab onto your hand and bring it with me, and we'll slam it through the stuff. I'm not gonna attack your fingers, but I'm gonna slam your fist to the table next time.
Well, see, the problem is we also went to In-N-Out before we did this, so our hands were covered in grease.
Wait, I didn't eat. It was late. It was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys went out and like, let's go get a big In-N-Out. Like, I'll go hang out with you guys. You guys are anyway.
I'm Canadian, Valley. I was told I have to try In-N-Out before going back to Canada.
I love your reaction though.
Just a burger. Yeah, it's okay.
All right, well, let's get into some Marvel Strike Force stuff. This gift arrived over the weekend, and I think this is a pretty good gift compared to some of the other anniversary gifts we got. You know, it seems to be ramping up every year, plus all the events that we got, which we will discuss. You know, I like all the rewards, but it's very, very confusing for me, even as someone that's an end game engaged player. What did you think of this gift and like the 7th anniversary overall?
Yeah, so the 7th anniversary was by far the best anniversary. We had so much gold, so much training materials. We had Twitch drops that were new. We had promo codes all over the place. We had the Envoy tournament with more promo codes. We got so many opportunities to get free goodies. It was great. My one pet peeve about what you're showing here on the screen is why 70 T4s? Just make it 700 T4s, dude. Like that 700 is not even enough for a full character. Why 70? It's not enough for half an anyway, it's just a pet peeve. I know T4s.
I agree with you. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. I was like, hey, I got Lalandra to next star. I got Jean all the way to 7 stars. Got gold. It's like, this is awesome. Yeah, but I'm seeing that as well. Gold and T4s is my big bottleneck. I know some people have training mats. For me, it's T4s. I'm so out of T4s right now. So they could have done that better. But yeah, I think the anniversary was great. Let's talk about some of these costumes in the game, because I enjoyed some of these costumes here. The Oath one is probably the one that looks very similar to the original costume, but it's right here, so I wanted to show that. What other costumes do we get? Jean Grey got a costume. I don't have it equipped on her. I don't know why I don't have it equipped on her. All right, there she is. Nightcrawler got one as well. What out of all these costumes was your favorite one?
Can I throw you a curveball?
Yeah.
Punisher is my favorite new costume in the game.
Okay, well, let's go check it out, because that wasn't an anniversary costume.
No, it just snipped into the game today.
Okay, cool. I don't even know where he is, but yeah, it looks like John Berthano. I did see it on a preview or something. Let's just search for the guy, because I don't know how I'm gonna find this guy. Computer's a little slow. Bear with me. Vigilante traits. All right, there's Punisher. All right, maybe I'll just leave it in. That didn't take as long as I thought. All right, so this is nice.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get this years ago, Dorky?
Because they don't respect the Netflix Punisher series as much as they should. This guy is, I don't think, there's very few actors who play an iconic character where I say, oh, I'll never see another actor be able to do this role. John is Punisher. He is. I'll never be able to look at another Punisher and be like, oh, that guy did okay. It'd be like, nah, he wasn't John.
What happened to Dolph Lundgren? It didn't stick in your mind for Dolph Lundgren?
Not so much. Nope. Not after John beat everybody senseless, and then it's him. He's the guy.
All right, good. All right, so yes, all the costumes in the game. We got some good stuff for the 7th anniversary and some stuff after the 7th anniversary as well. Let me know, Valley Club, what was your favorite part of the 7th anniversary? We discuss some bad news. Got some bad news, Dorky.
Okay.
My favorite game mode.
Oh no.
Next week is gone. So we got an Ultimate 32 this week. We got nothing next week. Here's the message from Pathfinder. Yeah. Commanders, we wanted to let you know that we're delaying the release of Season 14 next week. Don't worry, we'll have ways that you can still earn M-Crown crystals or M-Crown fragments, so you won't miss out on those weekend Crucible events. We're also modifying the used Lalandra and Cosmic Crucible milestone from the command center. Thank you as always from your support of Marvel Strike Force. So the word in the street, Dorky, is that Duelim reached Grandmaster, broke all the rankings. Nobody's gonna be able to play Cosmic Crucible because of Duelim. Is that what you're hearing as well?
Yeah, I've heard from internal sources that they actually have to do an internal investigation as to how Duelim is paying all of his opponents to do the stupidest attacks I've ever seen and letting this skillless, spineless person get to Grandmasters. It makes absolutely no sense.
Maybe they just want to avoid the Lululemon image in their heads. It's like, all right, let's just get this Crucible done with. I don't want it. Let's just go. You can have the win, Duelim.
True. I can see it.
All right. So also, chat is saying that there's no path to orbs. What? Like I said, I'm very confused right now. As a highly engaged player, what orbs are we missing? What was coming out of the orbs? Was it the Liberty orbs or no?
No, it was Howard the Duck and Havoc path 2 orbs we were getting for the finishing of Crucible. We're also getting T4s, right? So a lot of people, sorry, not T4s, training materials. People want the training materials from that as well. So we're missing a lot of rewards. They're going to fix the Lalandra aspect of it, which, by the way, if you're a highly engaged player, you've been getting the promo codes and all the other mechanic crystals. You have her at 7 stars probably for a few days already.
I got her yesterday. Not a few days.
There you go. So as far as missing the path 2 orbs and the training materials, absolute trash. Hopefully they can just comp everybody. Hey, just whatever Grandmasters is, just throw that to everybody and then no one will be mad about it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play, but I don't want to be missing rewards either. I'd rather play it than stuff. But yeah, if they're not going to give us the amount to play it, might as well just give us these rewards and like, all right, I don't know what we're going to do next week. Did you set your defenses with the new rules yet?
I have set my defenses, yeah. So I set my defenses. I'll be working on a video for Season 14, and that should hopefully come out early next week when it matters, when people will be looking to set theirs.
Okay, well, I have not set my defenses, so Valley Club, don't copy any of this stuff. This is still like a mix from.
Why not? Ultimate you have 2 Odins.
Ultimate.
You have 2 Odins on defense, though, Valley. This is great.
Oh. I'm gonna leave my defense. I gotta leave. Wait. I got 2 Captain Britons, 2 Odins. Maybe I'll leave my defense. Maybe I'm gonna leave my defense.
Hey, but just so everyone's on the same page.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if I leave it like this? Is my opponent gonna get screwed? What happens? Are you gonna switch it up? I'm gonna get an anomaly detected. No,
they turn into hand minions when the match starts.
Oh, okay. Well, not that bad. Yeah. At least they have wait. With Nobu or without Nobu?
No, they turn into like the 20,000 powered hand units.
Oh, just okay. Well, that wouldn't be as good. If they had Nobu, different story though. But with just minions, okay. So, all right. What are your thoughts on the Ultimate 32? I played horrible, but for some reason my opponents did just a little bit less than me. I went 5-0. I don't think I don't think I did very good though at all. What was your thoughts on the Ultimate 32?
I hated it. I went 2 wins, 3 losses.
Okay.
My 2 first losses were because they forced us to use Starjammers on offense.
Oh, I was doing that as well. Like, I guess I'm just gonna use the Starjammers. I don't care about the win. I'm gonna go for the milestone points. And I guess my opponents did that as well.
Yeah, so the problem is all of my opponents had diamonds on their Starjammers and I had 4 red stars on mine. So though the team scales really well, they don't work great at 4 red stars. So I was forced to use them during this event, took a lot of stupid L's because of it. And then, so I'm coming back with a vengeance in season 14. I'm going to be looking for heads of the people that beat me in U32 for sure.
All right. Well, hopefully. Wait, actually, before I move on from Ultimate 32, did you enjoy maybe not the rules for this Ultimate 32, but do you enjoy this kind of teaser Ultimate 32? I may be remembering wrong, but is this the first time we've had Ultimate 32 with actual rules that's going to be in the following season?
This is the first time. I'm not a huge fan of it. Okay. I would rather. So one rule that we have in season 14 is from the last U32 that we did. I like that. So if U32 is going to have these really crazy room rules, I don't want to see it in the next season. But if you want to use it down the line in future seasons, I think that's great.
Okay.
So if you're looking right now, stage 2 turtle shell. That stage we had in the last U32. That was stage 3 in the last U32.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I hope they do something to replace the Crucible. I hope they stop with these errors because I don't know, it's like every season we're getting an error in Cosmic Crucible. So hopefully that stops. But let's go with another bad thing that potentially could be coming next week. I'm still in my wait and see approach, but Overpowered is coming next week. On paper, it doesn't seem that good, but I gotta say, Diamonds didn't seem that good on paper and wasn't that bad. Purple ISO 8 didn't seem that good on paper, didn't seem that bad. Red Stars did seem that bad on paper and it was that bad. So with that said, Overpowered, what are your thoughts on this? Are you kind of wait and see like I am? Or are you, what are your thoughts on this actually?
Well, we always wait and see to see how it's going to be implemented. A big factor here is that there's basically going to be 3 times a year when people who spend more than you, in the group of people that you compete with, will have a pretty big advantage on you. 50% damage is nothing to see your nose at, especially with some characters like an endgame Thanos or like an Odin and stuff like that. Like that's those health triggers and just the AoE damage is kind of brutal, right? Yeah. So there's 3 times per year where this is going to suck, where it's gear tier increase, level increase, and purple ISO increase. But if they're following the same path as they did with Purple ISO and as they did with the level cap increase, where they are fast tracking people through the finish line, and then we all kind of equalize that on the other side and we're comparably building with the biggest suspenders, then it does give the big Krakens and the big whales probably like a 2-month advantage every single time you have a new level cap increase. How big is that advantage going to be? I think that advantage is too big. Right? Because if someone has gear tier 20 on your gear tier 19, they already have 25% more damage than you. You tag on another 50%, and it's just like, okay, why should I care to compete in Crucible when it's an efficiency-based game mode? So I can no longer try and engage in an efficiency fight. I have to now engage in a, can I make them drop a fight? Which is going to be even harder with them coming in with 50% more damage than you. It's a very big deal. I'll wait and see how it shakes things up. It seems like it was unnecessary to me. Like, if you want to make progression paths feel more impactful in the earlier stages of their life, why don't you just boost what those progression paths do? Why don't you just make gear tier 20 give 40% additional attack and health instead of 25%? Like, why do this whole extra thing and then have to announce something that's going to really aggravate, dolphins and light spenders and free to play? It's just, it feels awkward.
I agree. And like on paper, it doesn't seem good. I'm still, maybe it won't be as bad, but I'm kind of confused as to how it works. There was a conversation on Void Chat about how this is exactly going to work. So let's say I have level 105 on my character, but I have blue ISO 3. Does that mean my character is going to be at rank 3, or would I get rank 10 because they are at level 105? Is this additive? Is this cumulative? Once you reach the level, is that where you're at? Do you have to get all this stuff, or are they like ticks? So if I get level 90, that's 1 tick. If I get gear tier 17, that's another tick. How do you think this is going to work? Because I don't think the question was answered after all those questions in the Envoy chat. So how do you think this is going to work?
So I figured out how it's going to work. I was able to get a hold of somebody.
Okay, cool.
I thought like you. I thought like, hey, once I get a character level 90, they get 1 level of overpower. Once I get them to level 95, they get a 2nd level of power. No. So if you have, for instance, say a Punisher at level 105, gear tier 20, but he does not have any ISO equipped whatsoever, he's going to be at Overpower rank 2.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
So it's like you have to hit these check marks to even be able to be eligible for the future ranks. I don't like it. I imagine there's a technological reason for that. I really dislike that. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems worse. That seems worse than I thought it was going to be. We'll see though. It may not be as bad in the game. It sounds worse than I thought it would be. Tier 2 bonuses, tier 3 bonuses. I don't know. Well, we'll see how the tier 1 bonuses shakes up, and because we got proposed a few different things on tier 2 and tier 3. They may change based on what they see on tier 1 and the community's reaction and all that. So, or just the devs feel like changing it up. So what we saw as tier 2 and 3 may not even goes in the game, but they say strategy.
They're not. Yeah.
They're not going to. Okay.
No, what they suggested, we were like, hey, like you can't do it because of this reason. They're like, oh, that makes sense. We're not going to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. They say strategy is still key though. So even with those bonuses, the 50% damage, 50% focus, you need to have good, character selection, good strategy. How much do you buy this? I mean, how big do you think that is going to actually impact? Do you think that's going to be a minor change? It sounds like a big change, but do you think it's in actual play, it's going to be a minor change and strategy is still going to be key? Or is it just going to be like, I got to overpower, I'm going to smash you now?
I think strategy is still going to be 95% of what dictates matches. Because because it doesn't affect defense, it's overpowered, right? It's not like if you have a gear tier 20 Ode and I'm hitting him for 50% less damage, just that if I let him take a turn, he does an insane amount of damage. So you just, like all matches, we go in, we make sure we have the speed advantage or the control advantage. You don't let them do anything. You kill them before you take any damage. And that's the way 90% of the matches play out. Where Overpowered is going to hurt the most is in the highly engaged, highly competitive players who are doing these sort of punch-ups, where there is, there's a damage check where, okay, I'll get Odin to 10% life and he'll live and get his special off. Okay, that sucks, but I can now pivot around it. Okay. But if he has Overpowered and he does one of his laser beams, well, it might erase my entire team before I get to burn his charges for the second attack into him. I can see issues at margins playing off like that because of Overpowered, and I guess we're going to find out next week if I'm right.
All right, so some people, this Overpowered is going to make no difference. Some people, they're going to hate it, like, I'm going to spend less. And obviously Scopely is under an impression like, all right, this is going to make those competitive people spend a little more. Do you think it's going to have that impact based on what you know now?
I know a lot of people are getting even more upset about the Vigilante team and about Starjammers because of this, because those teams, Vigilante in particular, is a PvE team, and they're not going to really benefit from Overpowered because they're not great in the current meta of War Crucible. Whereas Starjammers, like, okay, Starjammers work if I could build them up as high as possible, so I want to put Gear to 20 on them, but they're not good elsewhere. So it's kind of making this Overpowered situation is really highlighting things that we want to invest in, but how that investment adversely affects things elsewhere. Because I want to invest more in Starjammers, but will they even work in the Professor X Saga? Same when it comes to Vigilante. It's like, okay, I know I could use them for raids. Scopely seems to think I could use them for the Vigilante Saga, but they're not very good, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out, right? So it's really making people question their investments more than they ever have before, which I suppose could lean to more people spending more money just so they could put Gear to 20 on more characters. And the same thing will happen with Purple ISO comes out when the next level cap increase happens. But I think that this is a net negative on the players' frustration level. I think it's too much frustration.
Gotcha. We will see. I think you're definitely right there, but I'm still. We'll see what it comes. We'll see. Maybe it won't be as bad. All right. But speaking of Professor X, we did get a new tease for Professor X that I don't want to play it for you. The Seer hype level of Professor X. That I think they said April 14th is when this character is coming out. So in less than 2 weeks is when we should see Professor X coming. And do you have your characters set yet? So they recommended City, Blade, Oath, Vigilante. We will get to the Vigilante team, but based on what you're seeing on the test servers, is the Vigilante still on your top choices?
No, I did Punisher to Gear 220 because I'm going to be having 3-star Daredevil, 3-star Crucible, 3-star Hitmonkey. From my experience on the test server, Punisher erases waves, and that was him at 7 red stars. Okay. So I brought him up to Gear Tier 20 and 3 diamonds. And my hope is that with the offense down they put out there and with the speed bar that they get, that I'll have Punisher just erase an entire wave. Hitmonkey gives him all of his energy back so that he can just spam ultimate. That's my hopes. So I am bringing Punisher to Professor X, and I do love this video, by the way.
I do too.
But the other Vigilante characters, unless they do some sort of rework, I'm not feeling them. I'm not. With Overpowered, I don't want to put that big of an investment into them, knowing that They function in raids without it. We know that.
Yeah, and they're awesome in the raids. They're awesome in the raids.
Yeah, but they're not fun in War offense or Crucible offense, at least at the level I play at. What I will say is this is just not true for mid-game players or new players, where it's like, hey, this is a new team. This is a raid team, so you have to build it anyway. And yes, they will do some things on offense for you for sure. They beat Orcus. They can beat Annihilators. Be careful with endgame Thanos. They beat a bunch of older teams, right?
You're talking War Crucible.
I'm talking War and Crucible. Both. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So it's like, I would never tell a player, skip Vigilante and go build up Superior 6. That's not happening, right? So for new and mid-game players, I still think that this is going to be a top 10 team. So it's great for them. But for someone like me and probably someone like you, I'm not going to get to use them in all the modes. So I don't really want to bring them to Professor X anymore.
So my thoughts with the Vigilante is exactly what you said. I'm going to use in the raids. They may suck in the Professor X Saga, but I know I'm going to build them after that. And if they have a little bit of value in Crucible, a little value in War, for me, that's good enough. Just because they're used after. Because there's always ways that you could build for Dark Dimension and this Professor X Saga, right? The characters are going to be cheap that should get you right away. The characters are going to be great in Dark Dimension and the Saga. And then the characters you can use after. For me, the Vigilantes, they may suck in the Professor X Saga, but I know I'm going to be using them after. Maybe not so much in War and Crucible, but I know in the raids. So I might build them up for that.
Fair enough.
Blade, Oath, Daredevil, Modern, Silver Saber, Vulture is what the Fat Man from chat is recommending.
Nice.
And I guess that separates a lot of the tags and stuff out for some of that.
For sure. Yeah.
Have you made any choices from your other sections there? Or just City because it's first?
No, because the way the Saga works, you don't get Professor X unlocked until you beat all of them anyway. The question that I need answered before I invest more, I'll tell you, I did invest in 2 other characters. Okay. The question I need answered is, from the Saga rewards, if I beat the City section, or City nodes, does it give me Gear Tier 20? If the answer to that question is yes, then I will start tunneling down one Saga at a time, because you shouldn't be limited in which Saga you start with. You should be able to, if it's like Apocalypse. So I need to see the structure of Professor X, because there's so many things we don't know about that. Gotcha. But right now, I got top 1,000 in the last leaderboard for skill. Okay. I put Gear Tier 20 on Punisher. He only costs 2 pieces. I'm going to use him, like I said, for my raid carry. I put it on the Landra because I know she has to come to Professor X anyway. Okay. I was telling you about Starjammers kind of being lackluster when I was using them in U32. So I figured Gear Tier 20 on her right away. Now that she has 7 yellow, 7 red, it's going to be doing some good work for me. I'm going to hopefully be able to use that before people start putting Gear Tier 20 on their Illuminatis, and she's just going to erase the board of that, right? And then I also put it on Endgame Thanos because, like I was saying, he's got that health trigger. Think of Endgame Thanos in stage 1 of U32. If you messed up and he was hitting you with that passive on 100% increased damage, it hurt a lot. So now add another 50% damage to that, and I think he's going to be a really scary defensive character. So I got Gear Tier 20 on those 3 characters, and I'm 1 piece away from having Odin at Gear Tier 20. And at that point, I'll probably just straight up stop spending Gear Tier 20 whatsoever until I see the Professor X structure.
Gotcha. I think those are good selections. I think Endgame Thanos is a great one. Lalandra, you know you're going to need her. And Punisher fits a few of those categories. Really cheap. You know you're going to need him after that. And maybe even the third one, maybe really good in the Professor X Saga as well. So I like that Punisher selection. I didn't think of that one because it's a rework character, but it fits a few of the things that I want from the Dark Dimension, aka Saga character. Yeah. That's it for and that's it for me for Professor X Saga. Any other thoughts on the Professor X Saga, the prep, any other sections you want to talk about?
Nah, we need to see it in game. Scopely, throw it up in game. Let us see what we need to expect from this, and so we can start planning our stuff out and bring a Saga tool to the website, please. We didn't get one for Apocalypse. We need
Come on, Taiji and Toxie, bring that to the website. Yeah. And the other thing, don't gear up your characters unless you need them right away. There's certain characters that you might want to build up right now, like Odin, or certain characters like you that you're going to build up, but because there's so much questions, I would just hoard all the gear. I'm hoarding all my gear right now, and then I'm just going to wait until like the Saga comes out, and then I'll now I'll make my choices. But yeah, Horde is what I'm recommending for most players. But let's move forward to that Vigilante team. We talked about them for the Professor X Saga. Maybe good, maybe not good. They are great in the raids. I didn't test them outside the raids. You had a testing of the full team in a few game modes. What is your experience with this team?
Super slow, super squishy, not great. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, this game is pretty much dictated by, I need to go first. I need to kill or control you before you get to go. And if I do that, amazing. If I don't do that, oh, it's bad. It's so bad. And with their fastest character being Silver Sable at 128, they do have a pre-taunt tank to protect them a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's so much AoE from our current teams that I just found I got absolutely demolished. So you basically, if you want to use this team, you need to find another enemy team that doesn't have like a speed stat increase or a speed bar increase or speed up on spawn that then does a bunch of controlling effects. Because if you have that, you get kind of dumpstered really fast.
All right. So very little value outside of the raids and potentially Professor X Saga for this team.
I think so. Well, I think they'll work in the Professor X Saga. I'm kind of getting this vibe that the city section is going to be so stupid easy because these characters just aren't that great. That
they want you to build them up. They want you to build them up. That's why.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Let's be real about this too. Because this team is being released now, we also know they're going to work in whatever the next raid is. So right now we have Chaotic Storm, whatever the next raid is. These guys will still work. So we might want to build them up to Gear Tier 20 then, so we can hit Sim for that section in the future. So it's a future investment for sure. I kind of like the PvP in this game a little bit too much, maybe.
All right, so I'm going to be investing in them, and like you said, they are the first raid team right now. You know, I'm still using the Hive Mind and Extreme X-Men, which is the oldest team. They're getting through the current raid right now, so these guys might have some extra value down the road. But yeah, any surprising good things about what they can do in Crucible or War, or they just totally suck?
No, they totally suck.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Daredevil, the offer. There was some offers there, including a chain offer, which I enjoyed. I bought the whole thing, so we don't have that chain offer I bought. There's this one here. Did you unlock Daredevil on your main account? If you did you buy one of these offers? Did you get the chain to do some gambling? And if so, do you like these chains? Do you like that variance of potentially getting nothing or getting something really good?
Let me start with your second question.
Okay.
I do like the chains. I think it's fun. I much prefer to be opening orbs, even if that is like kind of degenerate gambling, right? I kind of like it because it's more fun to me than just buying the shards. I did unlock Daredevil. I did not spend a penny for him. Ooh. I cored him.
How many cores did you spend on this guy? Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That sigh and disappointment in your face. You spent a lot. Jeez.
Yeah, I spent about 7,000 cores.
Okay.
And here's the thing, like why? Why did I do that? Because it doesn't matter. I already knew that the 3-piece was not going to do anything in the raids. I already knew Daredevil doesn't do anything in the PvP modes. Same will be true for Hitmonkey. Like, sure, he's 127 with a stun trumpet, but he's not going to do anything in the game until you have the full team. So if you are going to core for a character like I did, just wait till it's the very last character, because this team does nothing until you have all 5 members on it.
Well, you're coring for this so that you could have one node. And you could farm this. You could farm this instead of only farming this. That's why I'm going to right now.
You want to sad? You know how I justified this? In the command center, there's an event that gives silver sable orbs, diamond orbs, and if you do everything, it does give you a 3 diamond silver sable, which I would not have active in forever. It's that one right there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so one of the objectives is to use a 5-star Daredevil, 5-star Silver Sable, and a 5-star Hitmonkey. So me and my infinite wisdom is like, okay, if I core like 100 shards for this character,
I
surely over the month.
I didn't even notice it was 5 stars.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just use them. Oh yeah, I was even worse than you. I didn't even notice that part. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get this milestone. So yeah, I was worse.
But this is a 30-day command center event, right? So It's like, okay, if I do 100 shards for each of them, coring, surely I'll make up the difference in whatever their free-to-play release is, right?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe. I think they don't tell us a lot of information. Just it's a lot of FOMO. There's a lot of FOMO.
Yeah, exact.
I don't know. So I got the daisy chain offer. I liked it. I like this stuff more. You know, this than just buying it straight up. The character shards. I like the highs and lows of that. And
yeah.
And if you can afford it, I don't think gambling's bad. If you expect to lose everything and you're good with that, then gambling's fine. But if you're expecting, oh, I need to win, I need to get this jackpot, or my kids already, then that's a bad thing. But if you're like, I'm gonna lose everything, let's see what happens, then whatever.
Let me put it like this, okay? If you are trying to level a new character and you are at level 1 and you need the 40 million gold to do it, and there is a mega gold offer for 1 mega gold orb for $30, you're not gonna get 100 million gold from that. You have to enter all of your orb purchases with that in mind. Minimum.
Yeah. The 675 power core orb for those characters. Yeah, I buy each of those. Like, I'm gonna get 6. If I get 180 or something like that, then oh, good. But each of those I buy. I'm like 6. So that's my mindset. That's why I don't think gambling's bad. If you go into the right mindset and set limits for yourself, but if you don't, it's a very bad thing. Don't do that.
That's right. And if you can't, just stay away from gambling altogether.
Yeah. If you need it, then don't do it. All right. The event. Temporal Cataclysm, it came back. Yes. All right. So I know you made a video on it. I was about to make a video on it. Spent like 3 hours streaming. Got to, I don't know, like mission 6 or something like that. I'm like, this has been 3 hours and I'm not even halfway through this. I don't have a video. I gotta stop doing this. So I stopped around. I played a couple this morning, but I don't know if we're gonna get through it. What was your experience? How long did it take you to make your video on getting through all this stuff? Did you do it with stream? Did you do it on your own, just trying to figure stuff out? How long did it take you? Jeez.
Yeah, so I did it on stream, and because I was streaming, I was doing a lot of silly things, and I was trying to, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. I was trying to prepare characters that I never ended up using. I was trying to hit nodes in a certain way. I overplayed it like crazy.
Okay.
And by the time you get through the Illuminati node, which I think is 4 nodes away from where you're at, or 3 nodes away from where you're at.
Well, I'm not looking for this Black Knight node. Everybody's telling me how bad this one is, mission 12.
Well, there's a gimmick to get around it. In my video, you should go check it out if you're stuck on that node.
I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to do it, but if I do, I'll check out your video.
That's the thing. So yeah, to answer your question, this was like a 4-hour endeavor. I got the video out. The video did great. So for me, just from a content creator's standpoint, it was a good thing to do. I like this event. Unpopular opinion. I like this event. I don't care that it took me a long time. I had a lot of fun with the people on stream. If I wasn't a streamer, I would still have a lot of fun just doing this, just around the house while my wife watches some sort of really bad romantic comedy movie. I enjoy the struggle. I enjoy the puzzle. Is there rewards to it? Not really. And sort of the communal milestone is kind of a scam for sure. But I like having something to put my roster on.
No, I feel the exact same way. If I have the time, I think this is great. But I gave myself 2 hours to beat this whole thing, then an hour to make a video, and I wasn't even halfway through this thing. So from a time perspective and making a video on it, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be making a video on this one, just because I'll probably get through it. I'll probably watch your video and get through it by the end, because I want to push, maybe not for the costume, but for maybe a little bit of both, So I don't know. I think there's good and bad to this.
That's the good news, right? Like, because there are no rewards, you're not missing out by skipping it. You're really not. You're getting whatever global milestones we get.
Cosmetic rewards.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool, man. He's Magni from World of Warcraft now. Woohoo! That's great. It's just a fun, luxury, sort of braggadocious event. I really enjoyed it. And I like that it didn't give me 1 million gold and 1 billion character shards for whoever I wanted, because then other people would be mad about that because they wouldn't be able to complete it and they'd be right then. But people who are mad about this event because it's not rewarding, it's not worth my time, it's like, yeah, but other people are having fun. So let them have fun. It's not hurting you. And this is just recycled content. You know what I would love to see them do?
What?
I would love to see them rerun the Morgan Le Fay event with some updated tags, the Rogue event with some updated tags, and add 40 new difficulties to it, and add all these scourges that we have here in Temporal Cataclysm. And do the same thing. Make a stupid Morgan Le Fay skin that we can all fight over for on those nodes. The same with Rogue. The same with all the legendary characters. And
Archangel's kind of easy, though. Morgan Le Fay and Rogue was good. The Archangel and Red Hulk was kind of easy, though.
Yeah, but if you put a bazillion difficulties on it, then we're going to find out the max, right?
All right, yeah, so, give a costume for it, and maybe not those characters, but other characters that are in the meta right now. I would like that. I like content like this, optional content. I see people complaining like, hey, I can't do this. Why do you put it? you get nothing for doing this. You get some rewards for the community. You're pushing for the community. So I like this. I like optional content, super hard. If you have the time, you could go and try to fight it. If you don't have the time, then you're not really missing out on stuff if you don't get those rewards. So I like the events like this.
Me too. Yeah, is that okay?
I keep pulling my the jacket of my headset, so I had to get it back there. But let me ask you one question, brother Dorky. Is this event worth pushing for the community, and is it worth pushing for Thanos?
I mean, like, if you want
everybody uses power cores.
For sure.
They already have some of the Lalandra unlocked, so you may not need those M-Cran crystals, or the fragments. But everybody needs power cores. So is it worth pushing for community? And is it worth pushing for this thing? Is it worth that 4 hours? I know for you, making a video made it worth it, but would you push for it without a video just for this thing? And would you push for it without a video just for the power cores?
No, not for the rewards. I would do it for the gameplay. The Thanos, I think we're estimating that top 5% is going to be around 1,500 to 2,500 people as of right now.
I'm right in there.
Yeah, it looks like you probably, that's the estimation from somebody who went in, got the minimum to be on the leaderboard, and they can kind of see the numbers. If anyone has an update on that, that'd be great. But if you go to the event milestone, the community milestone, it's such a scam.
All right, why?
Such a scam. Okay, so we're at 14 million, right? Why don't you scroll on down to milestone 20 real quick? Yeah, we need 116 million. So put this into perspective. Everybody that collects every single milestone in the event contributes 20,000 points on 160 million. So you need 8,000, it's like 8,160 players or something to do what I did, which is difficulty 16, every single pack equipped except for one, the lowest health one. And you're able to get that done if you can complete it. To do that, I had a 3-diamond Astral, I had Mephisto, I had Gear Tier 19 on everybody, right? Like, so it's just, is it realistic? No.
I think it's good though. We're probably not gonna get to milestone 13, but even with just milestone 1, 2, 3, 4. This is free power cores. I love this, and most of the community is not doing this. It's the people that want to sweat hard that's doing this. So it's, I don't know. I think this is great. I think that combined with the global milestones and all that.
We're gonna get like 650 free power cores for everybody just for goofing off and having fun on super hard content. Yeah. I think that's amazing. I just wish they didn't have all the way up to milestone 20 where it shows 160. And another thing, when you are actually playing the game mode, the amount of milestone points you contribute from the 20,000 cap that everyone is stuck at, the last milestone is worth half of that. So the last milestone gives you 10,000 of it. I think you got to be in the mode itself, I think.
All right, so I got a question. I got one more question about the mode before we move on. I'm hearing that even completing it at lower difficulties, you get 2 million gold that's unannounced in there. When you completed it, did you get some gold for that?
I felt like I got a bunch of gold orbs, but there's also another event that we're going to talk about where I ended up getting like 50 orbs from that or something. So I don't think I got it. Last time they had Temporal Cataclysm, there was hidden diamond orb fragments on the nodes. I had 0 diamond orbs when I entered this mode. I had 0 when I left it. So I don't think there's any.
That was a bug, though. That was a bug. That wasn't on purpose, though. That was because they didn't reset from the previous one. So I think they did it correctly this time. But I'm hearing that there may be something for finishing. So let me know in the comments down below if it's worth it just to go at the lowest difficulty, complete it once all the way through just for some gold. I'm not sure if that's there. But let's go back to these global milestones because I think this is a great thing. I like the community working towards this. Even if we can't finish this, I still like that it's here. I like that psychologically working towards one goal as a community. But let's talk about this other thing, the command center, because what I thought it was and what it actually is, it just made the situation that I was hoping that it would fix. It just made it worse. So let me explain what I thought it was. So we go in here, right? Every day. We got the Red Dead rematch, Peggy Carter. We have the Daredevil energy that we have to manage. We have Starjammer's energy that we have to manage. We have our normal energy. We have our ISO 8 energy, that's 6. We have our Incursion energy, that's 7. Am I missing anything?
Well, besides like raid energy, no, I guess not.
So just for the campaigns, I'm counting 7 right here. And And I was hoping that this would be the solution for all that, because we have events in the milestones, we have events in events tabs, we have events in the campaigns. I was hoping what the command center would be is we just come to the command center, we, do our energy, we spend our energies, our different energies there, we do all the different things for the events, we claim our milestones. It's not what it ended up being. So maybe I was wrong in my interpretation. Maybe I was expecting something that they weren't trying to do. But I was hoping that it would be like that. And I like the rewards. All the rewards are good. It's just this is adding another place for me to click and extra time that I have to click on stuff and manage my red dots before I actually go in and play. So what is your thing with this command center? And I'm wondering also, you mentioned something before that they think that this was like an initial step. So eventually, a lot of the stuff would all be moved here. So what I'm complaining about is just kind of the first step, and it's kind of a moot point. So what is your interpretation of this command center?
Yeah, my understanding is that this is the slow roll for the command center to eventually replace the events tab altogether to make things better. So if you open up your command center, what I think is going to be the case eventually is that on the left-hand pillar, we will have the events that we're doing like weekly, whatever the case may be, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if they would do this, but I would also love to see a showcase tab or an energies tab where you click on that and it'll show you like, hey, there's this showcase currently running, there's this case, and then there's a go button. You hit the go button, it brings you to that campaign and you spend your energy, and then a back button brings you directly back to the command center, not back to the main screen, right? That's where I hope they're eventually going with this, but I would agree with you right now. This is a better events tab than what we currently have, right? Because it tells you your objectives, it tells you the rewards. That's good, but put this into perspective.
The old one's still there.
Exactly. Put it in perspective. We still have another like 7 different events running in the events tab. So if they had to add all the regular events to this, then all of a sudden that left-hand pillar, that's scrolling down quite a lot. And then that doesn't answer like you're talking about. Currently, 4 showcases running. Zombie Scarlet Witch, Starjammers, Liberty, as well as the Vigilante. Like, it's just too much to keep track of. And Command Center, I think, is going to evolve to handle all that. And they're definitely going to have to work with tabs and stuff in there to get it done.
Yeah, I was thinking that this would be the initial step. And as it was launched, like, this just made the problem that I wanted to solve even worse, because now we have more places to click. Yeah, so this milestone event campaign, I want it all in this command center right here eventually, and then that'll solve a lot, hopefully, because when I get in, if I have 5 minutes, I want to go in and do some gameplay, finish my raids and stuff like that. A lot of times right now, I'm logging in, I'm spending my energy, going to this tab, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that was my 5 minutes. I don't have time to play. I'm done. So I want to play more and stop just red dot going more. Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree. 100% I agree.
All right, let's talk about one of my favorite times of the year in Marvel Strike Force, April Fools. It didn't used to be. We had to do our own events with like the first iteration of the Howard the Duck and his kit, which was more insane than the Starjammers version. They gave us the wall. They gave us a few things, but last year we had the big heads, which was awesome. This year we get the big heads and the cool avatars. What did you think of this celebration for April Fools?
I thought it was great. Look, and the amount of effort that actually must have went into hand drawing all those portraits, that's kind of cool. Somebody over there loves April Fools. I like it, even though if it's just for one day of the year. It looks like they're going to recycle the big head mode again and again. I love it. Fun. Same with portraits. I thought there were some super goofy ones. There were some shout outs to content creators. I know, for instance, Mobile Gamer, like Ravager Boomer, it had to be him with the tinfoil hat on and everything like that. I thought that was really, really cool. And it was way better than the April Fools my wife pulled on me. My wife pulled a pregnancy scare on me as an April Fool's gift, which put into perspective, hey, Marvel Strike Force, they're not the most evil thing in my life.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. That's
not after 3. No, not after 3. Not after 3. Nope. 3 boys. Nope. Unless you can guarantee me a girl, I ain't about it. Nope.
All right. Nope. All right. So my question for you. I love that they did with the big heads. I love what they did with the avatars. And yeah, they spent a lot of work with that. So because of all the work that they spent, I asked, why did you guys just leave this in? They said it's because of Marvel. So why doesn't Marvel let them leave the big heads as an option to toggle on and off? Why doesn't Marvel let them use those crazy avatars as options to toggle on and off? Why, Dorky? Why can't we have fun stuff in the game?
I don't know, some sort of corporate nonsense probably. Like Funko Pops exist; those are basically just big-headed Marvel characters all over the place, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Bill Roseman, I hope you're watching this. You're probably not, but if you are, let Strike Force give us our big heads and our crazy avatars back. Stop hamstring them and let them loose. Let them loose with everything. Let them do whatever they want. All this crazy stuff.
Just to put that in perspective, okay? I just saw a Marvel Rivals trailer, and Emma, oh my God, Emma Frost's thighs are bigger. One thigh is bigger than her entire body. So if they can get away with that, surely we can get away with big heads.
We need our players complaining more to Bill Roseman. So, hey, let us get some fun stuff in Strike Force, not just the normal stuff. Let the devs be as crazy as they've always wanted to be. All right, one other thing. I didn't notice this. I don't know if I think I would have gotten this, though. It probably would have got to me in this next star level. Just like Peggy Carter, though. I don't really need the Liberty team. I'm not into war. They did their job. They got me through Kiln Tower already. I don't need them anymore. But I probably would have gotten this, even though, just because it's such a decent offer. Did you see this? And did you get this? If you did,
yeah, I saw this, and it's a great value. But it's like you said, it's for a character I'm not super interested in. It's Patriot. I had him at 5 stars. This could have got him up to 6. I had 6,000 cores at the time, which ended up being my Daredevil unlock. I could have got this 3 times, and that would have brought me up to 6 stars on Patriot. Like, that's cool, but it's just not the hype level kind of character I would have wanted it on. If this was, say, oh God, well, of course, if this was Howard the Duck or Havoc, everybody would have jumped on this, right?
Yeah. Well, again, some people like war, some people like Crucible. Yeah. If it's the Crucible people, definitely. The war people, if you knew about it, probably should have jumped on this because they're really good in war.
Yeah, and you know what? He is the biggest damage dealer on the team once he has the same sort of build as War Machine does. So there's a lot of validity to this offer for sure if you like it. I think this is a great offer. This is an amazing price point. Like we were talking about, when I spent 675 cores on one of their orbs, I'm kind of expecting like 6 to 8 max. 50 is a big jump. I like it. Like it's good.
2 days of arena, you get 50 shards of a pretty new character. I wish I knew about this. I'm like, why wasn't I paying attention more yesterday? All right, let's go back into the game though. There still is an event going on, not Temporal Cataclysm. It's the one from last week that was related to the event Freedom Spire right here. Freedom Spire, it's still going on. Quick thoughts on this event, because this is an older event, but what are your thoughts on the Freedom Spire?
Yeah, it was great. It was fine. It was exactly what we thought it would be. We need at least some of the new Liberty characters in order to get through it. Like, you pretty much had to have Falcon to get through it. I did get through with Falcon, War Machine, and Captain Sam. It was brutal. I did another run with Captain Sam, Peggy Carter, and Falcon, and it was autoplay. So the new characters definitely held their weight, even at low stars, even at 4 yellow, 4 red. People were getting through this with the 3 new characters. And listen, every time this comes around and you ask me, should I build Liberty for this? Should I build it for the final rewards? This is the 4th or 5th time they've rerun this Kiln Tower with the same teams being required. So yes, you should build this, because the next time they're in Kiln Tower, you're gonna be like, I still don't have Liberty done. I still don't have Immortal. I still don't have whatever done. It's like, okay, well, you should have done it last time, because now you got to build 2 teams to get these rewards for kill instead of the 1 team. And so the thing about Strike Force is you follow what's new. You really do. And you don't have to have things super maxed out. These are great rewards. I finished it day 1. I had no idea it was still running, because this feels like it was last month we did this. It
was a while ago, yeah. So there's some complaints, because the event that was associated with it was last week's event. That event ended on time. They left it up for a few more days, and they usually do this for these Kiln Towers in case you can't complete it. You can still get the completion rewards here. The associated milestones are gone, but they normally do this kind of stuff. Let me just go ask. I talked about mobile about this. For me, the experience, floor 1 through 40 was pretty boring. Once we got to that Cabal section, that's when it became fun for me, because it was challenging. What do you want them to do next time they bring this back? Should they, Mobile suggested if you beat a floor 3 times, you don't have to play it again. I like that solution. I don't know if the detect can do that. What would you like them to see, or what would you like to see if this comes back? How would you like this make it easier to get through some of those earlier, not challenging floors that are kind of mindless, and still be able to, have fun with some of the harder floors?
Yeah, I would go even a step further. There's another game I played, past tense, DC Worlds Collide, where if you were punching down 50%, you got to just sim it. I would say that. Okay. So for Cell 40, if I was using a 5.436 million power team, I'd be able to just hit sim on that, and it would not. It wouldn't use any abilities. My characters would still be fresh, this, that, and the other. So that gives you the option, like, okay, I want to go in here to prepare some character cooldowns, but for the rest, I'm just going to sim it. It's not going to use up their cooldowns, and we get to go from there. I think that would be a much better way to do it. So like you said, the first 40 floors, it's just click, 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 I'm done, and then we can go from there.
Yeah,
and
or then, at least maybe just a sim button. So if I go in battle right here, these guys will smash this. If I go and get a sim button, you're covering it. But just a sim button might make that easier. But then you might screw up as well. But this is one that you can keep going up and down, so you don't have to wait a day if you screw up. So maybe that's the solution. Devs have to do less work if they do that.
Yeah, true. It would just mess with your cooldowns if there was a sim button, right?
Yeah. It would. Oh, that's true. All right. But let's talk about the events going on right now. I think they are a lot less complicated as far as the milestone events, which is good. We got a lot more complication in other areas, but it seems like these milestone events, Quack Fu, very simple. Use them in the raids, use the character in the raids. Very easy to find out the score. You just do all that and just spending campaign energy. So pretty generous. It's pretty easy to get the meta item. Where was that? It's pretty low down if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, right here, milestone 14, and it's pretty easy. It's pretty much just doing raids. You get that. What do you think of these events right now? They seem very easy, almost like afterthoughts for players because there's not as much grinding that we have to do.
Yeah, and I actually like my events to be like that. I like them to kind of be afterthoughts where it's like, okay, actually I need to spend a little bit more campaign energy this week, but that's it. Cool. I much prefer that. Getting to milestone 18 is actually very possible, completely free to play as well, because the numbers that they put in game are actually less than what they showed in the blog. I think the blog, you needed 165,000 points to get milestone 18, but now it's down to 140.
Nice.
So if you were coring like your 450s and your 3 100s, you could get to milestone 18, which is like 12 million gold.
I think I started off correctly in the first few days, and then I kind of missed a few. So I'll be happy if I get here. If I get, I might maybe get that. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I just look at it. I look at it from the gear tier 20 perspective. Like that is 50 gear tier 20 pieces in these 625 coins, right?
All right, I'm gonna core more. I'm gonna go 4 cores.
Check your strike store before you do that, because you can just get energy from there, right?
True. All right. I'm gonna min-max this event. I'm gonna go do some calculations where I'm at after and min-max this. But I just like that they're doing these events very simple. If you wanted to get the minimum, just go for the minimum. Very, very easy. But if you want to try to min-max it like I am, then you can still calculate it and do all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a good change that they brought. Other thing that is happening, hasn't happened yet, but it maybe have already happened by the time you're watching this video. It looks like we are getting Kahori, Battle World Store, Miss Marvel Classic, Cosmic Crucible Store, Medusa, Spotlight Raid Orb. Thoughts on the absolute A-Force becoming farmable? You're a war player, they're a war team. How much does this mean to you?
Not too much, because they're kind of a war defense team, even though they get war offense buffs right now. They're a great team, don't get me wrong. Medusa being super farmable is amazing because she hits incredibly hard, and I actually think she's going to get Crucible play this coming season in Room 1, because not only does she hit her defense up, she stops on-spawn death proofs from the room, and she perma kills on her abilities. So if there can't do like a Dorm endgame Thanos thing where Medusa, she doesn't care about that revive, she doesn't care about that defense up he spawns with, she stops the death proofs, she murders them, which I think is pretty cool. Probably shouldn't use that word in a video. Murder, probably a better word. Anyway, I like it. I think they're a really good, fun team. They are not Vigilante, they're not Star Jammers. They flex pretty good in other places.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like them. I'm gonna be actually they're pretty much done. Yeah, Medusa, she takes off the death proofs and evades, right, on her passive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's where she's gonna have a lot of extra value. Now, last thing I want to discuss. There has been less gold in these battle passes and strike passes, and you have a theory about that. Why do you think there's less gold? I think the number that I saw in chat, 47% less gold in these passes. Why do you think this is, Dorky?
Yeah, it looks like they're giving us gold in other places that we are working a little bit harder for, but we're not paying for it. So I think the total was 20 million gold was in the strike pass if you bought the pro rate. And now it's 11 million. But if you head on over back to the events, one of the events that's happening this week is the Alliance event. And that has, and that's the event that confused me when I did Temporal Dimension. What is it called? Chaotic something? Crimson Storm.
My computer's slow. Here it is. Crimson Storm, yes.
Yeah, so this one is completely free to play completable if you're an Engage Alliance. It gives like 50 something of the regular gold orbs out, and then it gives 2 of the mega gold orbs out. So I think we're getting it for free now. We're getting maybe a little bit less. Like maybe it's a little bit. I opened my 50 orbs and I think I got 10 million gold. So I think I just got it for free because I was not going to buy the strike pass anyway. So I don't know. We would need somebody who records literally from day one of a month, how much gold they got to day one of the next month, how much gold they got. Do that 3 times and see if there's any actual differences. I'm not willing to do it. It seems fine because I'm at 0 gold. I spend $0 on the website to get gold. And I'm still able, I just leveled up Ghost. I leveled up Taskmaster. I leveled up Echo for the coming Crucible season. I have not been able to level up my Daredevil to 105, but I got him to 197, and he's getting like 2 levels every single day. And then I just look at the event you were just showing, the Quack Fu event, how there's 12 million gold on that final milestone, and that is free to play obtainable because it's the older raid teams just using a little bit extra energy. So I look at all this, I'm like, I'm good on gold. I get it that lots of people, especially if you're on the up and coming, you need more gold. Well, you also need more training materials at that point. I don't know if this is as nefarious as people think. They might be shifting gold around, but as always with Scopely, if it's not nefarious, come out and say that. Like, tell us, hey guys, just so everyone's aware, we take a little bit of gold out of the strike pass. Instead, you're going to get it for free in this Alliance event, which is going to be highly free to play completable. Why are they their own worst enemy? If that's true. If that's not true, then we're going to find out Scopely. We're going to do nothing about it because we never do anything about it.
They kind of did that with the challenges, right? Everybody was complaining. It's like, hey, why haven't these been updated? Why haven't these been updated? Like, and then there was a little blurb in one of the blogs like, yeah, we're stopping upgrading these. We're going to put the stuff in other places. People are still like, why don't these things? Maybe they're phasing out gold, training a lot of the necessary resources from battle strike passes, putting them other places. It is very confusing. Hopefully, if everything gets mitigated to the command center, everything goes in one place, we could see all that stuff. But right now, it's all over the place in pieces, and it's very hard to figure out what we're actually getting on a monthly basis. I just know that I usually have a lot of gold. If I want to level a character, I either have the orbs to do it or have the actual gold to do it. So I don't know. It seems like they're trying to make it confusing, Dorky, on purpose.
Yeah, definitely they are. Yeah.
All right, and I thought we were done, but this is a data mine from last week about a sword satellite. We did not get a sword satellite. So do you think, is this coming up next week? Is this what's replacing the Crucible that we're getting missing?
That would be really smart of them. So probably not. It would be really smart of them to have a sword satellite over the weekend while we don't have Crucible going. That'd be great.
During the week. As a content creator, I hope it's during the week.
Yeah. Because that satellite's like Tower, where it's like you got to do it every single day. I agree there.
Yeah.
I think it could be great. I like Sword Satellite. I don't like it for new players or mid-game players where you have to have them, I think, at 5 yellow stars to use the character. See the 5 yellow or 5 red stars, something like that. I don't love that about Sword Satellite, but I do like how they go the extra mile in Sword Satellite as opposed to Tower, where the teams are way more difficult. Way more difficult. But for the love of God, Scopely, I hope they learn their lesson, and instead of having some sort of weird janky leaderboard attached to it, just have it be milestone points. Like, hey, you cleared Sword Satellite, congratulations, don't do this anymore. Just take the leaderboard out of it, put it all into milestone rewards.
They seem to be making things a lot more simple. So hopefully if they bring the Sword Satellite back, it is in a much simpler version than we've had in the past. There's not as much math and stuff like that. Just play, not as much calculation beforehand.
Yeah, I agree.
I do too. So that's about it. Hopefully we do get that Sword Online. We're definitely not getting Crucible, but we are getting Overpowered. So hopefully that is not that bad next week. What are you most looking forward to and most hesitant about that's coming up?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Professor X stuff because that's coming out the 14th of April or something like that.
Yeah,
it's supposed to come in game. So I want to see all the different rewards we're getting from the Saga nodes. I want to see the enemies on the nodes so I can start theory crafting the team. So I'm pretty excited about that. That should be really fun.
I am too. So that's about it for this week. Everything coming up next week as well. And if you have any thoughts on what is coming up in Marvel Strike versus Overpower Professor X Saga, let me know down in the comments. If you did get some value from this video, leave it a like. Make sure you check out Dorky's channel, all his videos, his guide on the Temporal Cataclysm. And if you want to see what are the best rating of, or if you want to see every character rated in Marvel Strike Force from best to worst, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Are you ready for a fist bump, brother Dorky?
I can't wait.
I'm trying to hit your finger with this fist bump.
It's broken. I can't make a fist. Let's go.
All right, fist bump. ValleyFlyin, DorkyDad out. Have a great one, guys.